Hey, in the last video, we talked about being rather than doing, and we talked about how sometimes, rather than continuing to fill our schedule with more things to do, we just need to turn it all off and to be with God. Now, that's not an excuse to stop our responsibilities and turn on the TV. That's more than that, right? It's about spending quality time with God. And so in this video, I want to focus on one aspect of that, which is worship. We express our love for God through worship. And when we worship, we start to see the beauty of God in ways that our issues become secondary and we see God for his goodness. It changes our perceptions and our affections. It gets our minds off of ourselves and onto him. And when our affections change, so does what we talk about and what we do. Worship flows out of us. And one of my favorite Bible verses is in Luke 6. And Jesus says, the good person out of the good treasure of his heart produces good, and the evil person out of his evil treasure produces evil. This is the key. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks. So when we set our hearts to worship God, he fills us up. And our worship stops from just being a routine thing that we do and becoming real. And in the Old Testament, worship was Israelites' main way of witnessing to the nations through the temple, through the sacrifices. People would come and see this worship to this God, right? And David models worship so well for us too. I mean, if you look at the Psalms and just see the way that he worships and talks about God, and the way he dances when the ark comes back to Jerusalem, you can see how he was such a worshiper and how it filled his heart. And when we worship, it fills our heart in the same way. But it's not just for us, though. When you're overflowing with God's love, people see that in you too. Think about the first time you fell in love. You probably couldn't help but tell others about this new boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. When people see that you don't care what others think about you, they wonder why. And you can't help but dance. You can't help but witness through just who you are. So I want to encourage you again this week for another challenge to when no one's around, just throw on some praise music and just worship God with all you have. And then when you get to church on Sunday, do the same thing. Worship God with all you have, because it brings witness to God in your life. It shows people that God is real, that he's there with you, that you have a reason to be excited. So blessings to you, and I will see you in the next video.